we're looking at innoVi. You can see the innoVi tab. Obviously, as I mentioned, we have the integration into the UI. And here we're going straight into essentially the innoVi portal embedded into Milestone. In any case, just to show you, you have, going back to the tabs at the top, as I said, you have the initial administrator tab. You can see sort of, if we go into the monitor, which shows you really all the different events that are coming in. You can easily filter events of interest by object type. So I'm only interested in people event or unknown events, the severity that you might have actually listed, different rule types that you have set up, and so on. And you can also look at these events very easily on the grid or go into them on the map. So obviously we have geospatial integration. I think for anyone who really wants to see where those events are happening in real time, this is key. Really zone into those events on the map very easily, and even go into those events on the ground, so you can actually take a walk around and see where they're happening and have a real understanding of where that event is happening, not just sort of, as part of the system. We can then sort of deep dive into particular sites. And so if we open up the city sites, we can deep dive into just all the different sites, where again, you can either see where these events are happening on the map or going into the grid of the events. If we go to the administrator tab, in the same way that you saw the overview of the entire system, here what you're seeing is the overview of this particular camera. So here you're seeing what's going on in the camera's field of view, the different rules that you have set up here, the different the number of events you've come in. Again, you can filter this, by whichever time frame that you want, and you can see the health over time. You can click into each event, you can look at the event, you can see if this is an event of interest, should we close this as a false event or a true event? So we're always sort of teaching the system, and the system is always learning. Let's say we close this as a true event and continue. Now if we go over to the alarm manager, we can see here that these cameras we actually have running at the moment, and you can see the same event actually just came in, where you can double click obviously on the event. You have the timestamp, the priority, which camera it came from, and all the different information, and then you can see again the actual event with the overlay in the same way that you could see that in our own monitor. Here this shows you our investigation. Again, it's just another tab as part of the whole experience, and you can search based on rule type, so you can choose crossing a line, moving in an area, stop vehicle, and so on and so forth. We have an easy search based on really all events, so people and vehicles and so on, or you can be specific and say, let's say I'm only interested in people that are, let's say, wearing red, so you can be very specific in the color. So you want to add that object, and you're looking at a time range, so I'm looking at the last, say, 6 hours, and then you investigate. Now remember, here we're investigating on 12 hours of footage, and we're looking over, as we're looking at 2 different cameras over the last 6 hours, and you can see how quick the results are. Here you can see the different events that come up, and you might say, okay, some of these events look of interest. I see that, there's someone who, I could go into the particular image of the event, so you can see the reference of the event, and obviously then open this in the video player. Now for the purpose of the demo today, we're pulling the stream from our own edge, but obviously in the deployment itself, they'll be pulling the stream from Milestone's recording server. Add these results to a particular case, and you could say, person in red, and you could say select an existing case that's part of a continued investigation, or create a new one. You could say, person moving, for now, red, and select a folder name. Also, I'll call that red for now. You can make the information public to any of the users of the system, or obviously, you can make it private as well if it's part of a very, private or specific investigation. And then you've created a case, which you can then go back and obviously add different results to and manage, and so on. Of course, you can see the same results that I've created here on the map as well. So in the same way that I showed you in the real time, you can really hone into those particular events and see where they were happening. So you're actually getting a look of the environment And again, you can easily just click into each of these events and actually, see the video of them and play that back. Now here, you're doing a very simple search based on any of the cameras that are gathering statistics. So obviously if there are traffic circles, or it could be, people walking in and out of entrances, where you would just pick the time frame that you're looking for, the report type, and then you're exporting this information, which currently is really utilized as like an Excel sheet where you're integrating that into a BI tool.